Junkyard Breaks.
Junkyard breaks.
So today's video is about our buddy Michael and Lucas's CGC fiasco. So he had a bunch of beautiful books that he got from a coworker. We submitted them, and it appeared like at some point during the submission, CGC dropped all the books on the bottom left corner and damaged pretty much all of them. So I contacted CGC. They said resubmit them on us. They're gonna press them and resubmit, and we'll reslab everything. So these are those books. Um, our hope was that our hope was that the grades that they got were of the damaged corner grades and not a pre-drop grade, which would mean that they graded them, dropped them, slabbed them with the grade before it was damaged. That was our worry.
The pre-damage assessment.
Pre-damage assessment. And now by resubmitting, we're going to get lower grades because now they all have damaged corners, even though they're pressing and re-slabbing. We have a feeling that they're going to be they may be all lower grades. That was the risk. So I'm going to start. I'll start pulling books out. And Jason, you got the previous grading notes or the
I do.
grades?
Yep.
And we'll see what happened to these.
So why don't you tell me what book we're gonna look at, and then I'll give the previous grade.
I got Batman 429. This is Death in the Family number 4.
Yep. So our resubmission grade was 9.0 off white to white.
9.0 off white to white. So it has been pressed and reslabbed, and we have a 9.0
No.
off white to white. So
All right.
Some of them he resubmitted everything, and some of them weren't as bad. Some of them were really bad. All right, so we got Batman: The Killing Joke. This one scares me a little bit because it definitely. Oh, they pressed it out. It's gone. The damage is kind of gone. What was the killing
Right.
joke?
So pre-resubmission it was 9.0 white pages.
Pre-submission Killing Joke was 9.0 white pages. We got a 9.0 white pages.
All right.
Alright, so I guess, I don't know, maybe they were graded pre-damage, I'm not sure. Let's see how the rest of this goes. Next is Batman 405.
Batman 405. So we're looking at something from the Frank Miller run, correct? Yeah. So pre-resubmission, the grade was 8.5 white page.
This is looking pretty familiar here. We got a
8.5 white pages.
pages, and it is still a damaged left corner.
Does it look like? I mean, it looked like.
They didn't even press it. I could have pressed that out. They didn't press it.
Interesting.
They just re-slabbed them.
Yeah, he just took them out.
Did they re-slab them?
Yeah, that one could use a press too. Are you kidding me? So, okay, let's see if any of these are different.
Sure.
X-Men 266, first Gambit.
All right. So X-Men 266, Uncanny X-Men. It was a 8.5 cream to off-white pages. It is now 8.5 cream to off-white pages. Oh, very familiar.
5 cream to off-white pages.
Kind of crazy to see a cream
And
to off-white from a.
damaged left corner.
Kind of crazy to see cream to off-white from a book from 90.
But a similar damaged left corner.
Right. Yeah.
The corner is still damaged. This is I
Batman 406 was 9.4 white pager.
Still damage left corner.
Oh, yeah, let me look at that. It's still a 9.4. No, that was pretty good. That's probably why it's 9.4. It was one of the highest ones he got. Batman 407.
Batman 407. This book was, let's see, this was a 9.6 white pager.
And I'm contacting that lady again. I'm like, what the hell? You just basically sent the books back to us.
The question is whether or not they actually got reslabbed in the first place.
Yeah. They babysat them for a month. Batman 426.
Batman 426, 9.2 white page. Wow. It's almost, if they actually did press them, it's almost like there's almost no way they would be have everyone have maintained the same grade.
Batman 404.
Batman 404,
9.2 white
Nine-
pages.
9.2 white pager. Yeah, maybe you can tell me what the grade should be, and then I'll tell you what the grade was.
Batman 427. This is disappointing. Look at Jimmy's background. 9.6 white pages.
Where is the Batman 427? Nine six white pager. Yeah.
So basically, they received them and sent them right back to us in a month. Batman 428. 19
Batman.
white pages.
Batman 428. Let's see. 9.2 white pages.
Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 8.
8.5 off white to white pages.
And I can fix that corner. Everything that's below a 9.6 has a ding corner that I can fix. Wolverine number 1.
Wolverine was, oh, this was a 9.2 white.
Wolverine.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's the limited series. Okay. Was 9.0 white.
Okay. Got me for a second. I was like, okay.
I didn't see that I didn't see they were both in here.
Do I have Wolverine? Oh, I do
Maybe.
have limited series. And that is a 9.2. 9.2 white pages.
Okay, so you should have the McFarlane cover, Batman 423,
Got it. 9.4.
9.4 white pages. That's still a huge book in 9.4.
Yeah, it is a good book. 9.4 is a really nice book. First
The
edition.
Avengers Annual 10 should be in there.
Yep, that would be the first Rogue.
8.0 cream to off white.
But that was got a damaged corner, which I could definitely press that out. Which I did press that out before they damaged them. Sandman number 1. This one was the only one of his books that was funky. It had glue on the top left corner. I used a whole lot of techniques to get that glue out of there. It doesn't look like it's there anymore. Is it still?
8.5 off white to white.
It was an 8.5? Okay. This one I couldn't do much else with. I mean, it is what it is. It had like a substance on the cover. And then Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. Now this book
Right. And so it would never get a 9.
They would never get a 9.0, which makes me believe that they just sent these back to us. I gotta email her again tomorrow. I think what he should do is he should
So wait, is that the last book?
That was it. So what am I missing?
So he's missing New Mutants 87. His New Mutants 87 first cable is not in there.
He kept it.
Okay.
Yeah. Now that you say that, he definitely kept that one.
9-0 off white to white.
Yeah, he kept that one. I think his son wanted it. Lucas.
Yeah, there is I mean there's no change in these grades.
No. No change at all. I was not expecting this. I was expecting them because they had agreed to crack them open, press them, and re-slab them.
Yeah.
And they did nothing with these. They just sent them back to us.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, I'm gonna drop them off with Michael and we'll pick our battles and say like, the Batman 427 is a 9.6. It doesn't really have any bottom corner damage. Let's let that one go. A couple of these, like, I don't know, maybe it's worth cracking them open and pressing them and seeing if we can get a better grade. I don't know. It seems after this submission, I'm going to contact her and see what we can do, but it appears to me like they're not accepting any responsibility for this at all. They just sent them right back again.
Yeah, I mean they had them for 5 weeks. The service got defaulted to mechanical error is what it was classified as. Interesting.
17 for 17, exactly the same grades as we sent them. That's disappointing. It's really making, and after your grades, it's really making me hesitant to send anything to CGC.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's I mean I guess I have really high hopes for I have really high hopes for my next submission that's coming back because it's more in line with kind of what we were talking about, almost pretty much all modern aside from Jimmy and I both submitted um the X-Men Annual 14, yeah. But aside from that, probably his Catwoman is the oldest book in at like 2006 or so. Everything else is would be first Marvel Point One, Sam Alexander, the Hawkeye books, reread books. Yeah, they're all pretty new. So they would kind of fall in the same same general paper stock, quality paper and stuff like that. So I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, it's certainly something is amiss with the couple of these submissions. And then the just the timing around is just kind of inexplicable too. So I mean, we still don't have an update on your fast track books, correct?
Being patient.
Yeah.
I know one of the number one rules is don't call CGC and say, hey, where's my books?
Which in and of itself is a ridiculous concept that you as a customer would not be able to question why they have not produced why what you pay them for they have not held up their end of the deal.
Especially if you sent fast track
Yeah.
shipping.
But I mean, I'll be honest. I lowballed insurance values. I put in a Marvel Spotlight 5 in at $400. I mean, I might be just asking for it, which is also why, since I'm playing games, is why I'm not going to say anything. This book. What the heck happened to this?
Do you have a substance? Do you have a foreign substance?
Yeah, like somebody spilled honey on it or something.
Well, at least it's in a
That is honey.
Gemini.
It's literally honey. Oh my god. Oh, nice. Manual Gemini. Why is there honey on my book?
Is he a honey consumer? That seems like a very, very specific subset of individuals. I mean, our grandparents consumed a lot of honey.
Yeah,
Um,
our forefathers.
The strangest thing is that my Amanda asked me to make some tea with honey for her only about 2 hours ago, and I couldn't find our honey.
that's because it's all in Dolph's
That's
book.
because it all ended up on Dolph's book.
I don't even know what this is. Oh, is this a free Halloween Comic Fest Iron Man 2020? And this is probably the stuff off of my list that. Yes, this is first Forge. No.
No, First Forge is
First Marrow.
the X-Men.
I don't know. Okay.
Right?
Did you buy a Marrow expecting to buy a Harrow?
Marrow Magma. First Magma.
Magma.
Somebody. I'm sure there's a lot of pissed off people at me on eBay land.
You mean after last night?
I mean, I literally, as soon as, because I had closed captioning, as soon as they reached the trailer, or released the trailer, and I saw that his name was Arthur Harrow, and I literally bought every single book that was listed except for one, and it was $30 from the United Kingdom. I bought 9. Volume 2, number 2, Arthur Harrow's only appearance. There's some guy in Canada I bought them all. I bought every single one of them. $4 a piece.
Oh, wait, he had 9 copies of it?
He had 9 copies.
Okay.
He had 4 newsstands and 5 regulars. And I bought them all. I said yes.
The funny thing is, after I saw the news, I have issue 1 and I have issue 3, but I did not have issue 2.
His only appearance is that one book.
Really? His only appearance, period.
First and only appearance is in number 2, volume 2, number 2.
Why in
Until
God's
until the
name
TV show comes out. Yes.
would they
Until the trailer
choose-
came out.
would they choose that person?
They just used him in name because he's not even the same guy. The other guy's like some like Nazi like doctor guy, and this one seems more of a cult leader.
Nerdist. I know that everybody has their things about Nerdist, but Nerdist does go into a very interesting thing about it.
About what his character's supposed to be versus
What because they do show him having like a cult following, and
it seems like he's like a cult guy who is into Egypt or Egyptology, and that's his interest in Mark Spector.
whose
Yeah.
name is Steven.
Well, yeah, I think that's one of his identities. Is might be.
Well, they changed the thing because what this Steven was actually the billionaire version of him,
I don't remember.
but in the show version he's the poor museum guy.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about the fact though that with the where speculation market is at? I mean, it literally says in Key Collector, Hawk's character is referred to as Arthur Harrow in the closed captions of the Moon Knight trailer. I mean, it's getting so like
I know.
next level, you know, like
Dude, I
like
got so excited. I said, all right, I'm gonna Arthur Harrow. Looked up on Google, and then it said Earth 616, first and only appearance, volume 2, issue 2. Go
It
over
was-
to eBay. There's 9. I have 5 offers out in my. So my comic collector had. I told you, Jimmy, must have been 12 of them listed. And I don't really have an account, so I just didn't want to go through the setup of getting one. They were gone in an hour, all of them, every single one of them.
what were they listed for? $3 or $4?
All $3 or $4, 9/8. Not some guy had his listed as a 9/9. I was like, it's ridiculous. But
A 9.9 of a 1985 book.
Mine's a 9/9.
Hey, I clicked on 3 different listings on eBay last night that were all buy it nows,
Yeah.
and as soon as I clicked on it, it says sorry you missed out.
Crazy. I can't believe I got as many as I did. But if you all watch the trailer at the same time, I know there's people like us. And yeah, I got a bunch of them coming.
Yeah, it's funny. I fell asleep, um, and I woke up to 27 text messages between the two of you, and so I watched the trailer, but I didn't watch it on closed captioning, because I'm able-bodied and can hear, and was like, I don't understand what happened because because they don't actually say his name
Don't actually
unless
say his
you're.
name.
Then I checked it on Key Collector, and I was like, oh, I didn't have closed captioning on, so therein lies the problem.
Closed captioning is a must when it comes to stuff like that because I don't know why they disclose a lot more than you think. So yeah, I guess maybe I just was one of the few that I automatically have closed captioning on for that
It's all,
reason.
it's all, it's all in the words.
Because even when you're watching like Mandalorian episodes and they used to have watching the closed captioning, they used to say names that they were saying in another language or whatever, and you're like,
Right,
oh,
right, right, right.
damn, there's a little hidden nugget right there. So yeah, closed captioning is a nice little Easter egg for finding stuff.
Well, the first issue, the first episode of Boba Fett was very dark and
Yeah.
it was very quiet, and so we were watching it. Jim and I were watching it together, and our mom is hard of hearing. She not hard of hearing. She's deaf, and it was very difficult to play it loud enough so that he wouldn't wake his child up in the other room, but loud enough for our mom to actually be able to get something out of the show as well. So
Yeah, it's quiet
um,
and dark. That first
yeah.
episode was really dark. Second episode.
And you guys did. Well, I assume you probably didn't, but you guys didn't see episode 4 yet.
No, I don't watch it for yet. I'll watch it tomorrow with Nick.
Yeah, I'll watch it tomorrow with the kids.
Yeah, I'll look forward to your comments after you watch it.
Uh-oh, that doesn't seem like you're
Seems so. I know
real
people
high on it.
that are not fans of the pace of the show. It is slow. I mean, he's kind of just like walking around town and getting a feel for being in charge.
I don't like what is her? Is it Ming Na? Is that her name?
No.
That's her real name.
No,
Oh, is that
that's her real name, right? Is Fennec Sand? Because I don't like her acting. I just don't like her monotone way she delivers lines.
Yeah.
She sounds exactly like her character on Agents of Shield.
Yeah.
Like, exactly.
I
the
had
same
this
character.
conversation with my friend the other day, so he has not been watching the series, but he was asking me a lot. He's an inquisitive person, and I'd like to get your take on this. Do you think that this show could actually kind of tarnish
Boba Fett.
how people see a Boba Fett, right? Because if we think about it, Jimmy and I watched, and Dolphin, I'm sure you watched it too. The what was it called, Jim? Behind the mask,
Under the helmet.
Under the helmet, and
Yeah.
the fact that this individual, this character, in such a short with on-screen time, had so little over the last 40 plus years, but yet cast such a large shadow in pop culture is kind of crazy. And so this is the first time we're getting this deep cut of Boba Fett, right? And I actually kind of like the flashback stuff thus far. But some of the current stuff just seems, I hate to be pessimistic, but it just seems a bit far-fetched that you would just be like, oh, I killed this dude, so now I control this territory, but it's like me and my sidekick and a couple Gamorrean guards, and like we have no army.
They're also
Like,
stating the obvious in episode 3 at least. They're just like, you're not intimidating. You're not
yeah.
to anybody.
But I mean, he did somehow get a gang that had
Like, I guess they're the quote unquote lost boys of Tatooine.
I hate them.
I hate them.
I hate the what do they call the genetically modified or the modified?
Gang is really a bad ad.
They're all
No,
stupid.
They're all
can
If
we
these
just
kids
talk
if
about-
these kids are all on a poor planet like Tatooine, and they're all sitting there in their cool clothes with their cool gadgets and their cool eyes and their cool bikes, They're different colored bikes.
Can we just talk in general about? I just want to talk about the color palette, right? Everything on that planet is a shade of sand, but yet somehow these particular speeders are A, metallic, neon metallic, and B, the slowest speeders that have ever existed in like that was the slowest car chase, if you want to call it a car chase, that I've ever seen on film. You know, it was a very slow chase. I mean, I did kind of like when they drove through the portrait of Jabba. You know, I liked some of those kind of like little things, but I just kept thinking to myself, this is a very slow car chase.
So slow. It really is slow.
So yeah, it's been interesting.
Like even what's his name? Tamara. What's his last name? Boba Fett.
The guy who plays Boba.
Tamara something. Why can't I think of his name? But anyway, even he just said in an interview, he's like, I'm talking too much. He's like, the mistake is gone. Like I'm saying too many words. Like Boba Fett should just be like a quiet, menacing dude.
He
Yeah.
should be like Mando
He should be like Mando.
for the first season.
Why they didn't do it is because they need to be too much like Mando, but that's what Boba Fett is.
He's
Yeah.
a Mando.
Yeah, I don't know. Disney has not been knocking it out of the park lately.
I didn't think that they could go wrong, to be perfectly honest, though, because it's essentially the same creative team. I did think that the Rancor looked pretty bad in episode three, like the actual
And
image of the
I
Rancor.
had something spoiled for me on the last episode, and I'm not going to say anything, and I just hope it's not true because I'm like, okay, come on. But yeah, something in the last episode. If it happens, whatever.
Does it have anything to do with owning like 182 copies of Dr. Aphra's first appearance?
I would love to tell you that Dr. Aphra is going to be in the last episode of this season. I don't know, man. It's a good investment. Dr. Aphra, Darth Vader number 3.
I believe that it is, and I also believe that you do have 200 copies of Dr.
I did just get this too.
Darth Vader.
#1.
Oh,
Midtown Comics got me.
nice.
Not even on
It-
Collector.
Wait, which one is that? That's issue
Number one.
Number 1. First, what's his name?
Chrysanthemum.
I don't even know
Chrysanthemum.
his name. Chrysanthemum.
It's Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum.
Yeah, Chrysanthemum. First appearance, Chrysanthemum, and a Midtown Comics exclusive. I don't even know how many they made.
That's cool. I'm pretty sure that's one of the variants that's on Key Collector. No?
No.
Interesting.
Unless I got a different version than you do. I was just looking. I
Okay.
was like, how much is this thing? Because I got it. I literally, because you're gonna laugh at this. So this is the lot I bought. It's Darth Vader 1, and then it's basically a bunch of like porn. Not porn, but it's like kid fluffy. This is what it came with. Jenna Jameson, Shadowhunter. Allegra.
Allegra.
This is what it came with. Battlestar Galactica. There we go.
Were throw-ins?
No, this was the lot. Green Hornet number 1, but this is like
Right.
volume whatever,
And Suicide Girls.
IDW. This is what it came with. It
Wow.
was a very cheap lot, and you know, I don't know. Obviously, I only got it for that, but whatever.
That is a hodgepodge.
It's a hodgepodge.
Well, you have a guy though at the flea market, right? So those are automatic sales right there.
You have a guy. Everybody's got a guy for something. For all those that don't know, when I sell at the flea market, I had the very first day, I had an adult section in the back, and some guys just like, yes, please. I will take those. Thank you.
It wasn't the guy that went through all of my Frank Cho's, expecting all the girls to be naked.
Wasn't that guy.
I hate
I
that guy.
sold I went to the market, or sold at a market on Saturday. Did it decent. Moved a lot of dollar books, which was good. No, it's an old like ball bearing factory. Like they made a ton of ball bearings during, I guess, World War II, and then the factories were abandoned for a long, long time. So there's a really cool brewery on the front side, and then this marketplace is in the middle, and they're developing the other side as a cidery, and so um, but a cidery, yeah. And so this guy and his mother, so I'm assuming he's probably around my age, and his older mom, they just absolutely assaulted my dollar boxes looking for Green Lantern books. And I think they probably pulled out like 86 or so Green Lantern books, and then they did some very weird. I don't know, I explained it to several friends as them performing some sort of NASA level math on books that were.
Not to interrupt, I just realized I have not been talking to my microphone the whole time. I'm telling you right now, my audio is going to be hosed. Sorry. So they bought a whole bunch of Green Lanterns?
Yeah, so he just they appeared to be doing some NASA level mathematics on books that were clearly marked $1 a piece, buy four get one free. But they were standing in front of me for like 2 hours of my day. So they ended up buying 56 $1
Wow.
books.
That's a good sale, though.
Yeah, it was
Great.
a third of a short box.
Plus the stuff it's the stuff that you don't want. So
Yep, this is right, and I got a potential lead on a Silver Age collection, so I'm excited about that as well. So
Cool.
so we'll see how it pans out.
cool, very cool. All right. I mean, well, that was disappointing. I guess
Yeah.
next step is contacting CGC and ask them WTF. I
Yeah,
thought you were supposed to crack these open and re-slab them. You didn't do anything.
I'm gonna guess that they are going to in what's the Schwarzenegger movie where with Jamie Lee Curtis.
True Lies.
You remember how in
Right.
in the beginning he does the entire that he has that entire conversation with his wife with the tape recorder. I'm gonna say that CGC is just
Yeah.
putting you on a tape recorder, and that they're like, yes, yes, sir. Oh, I completely understand your disappointment, and I think something like that's gonna play out.
Sad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess really, you have to see what Michael thinks because at this point, does he want to spend another month and a half? If they do crack, press, and regrade, do they come back lower? You know? I mean, certainly the Killing Joke, and certainly
I wouldn't touch those at this point. But I certainly they're not they're not color break. I would press all of them, like all the ones that can't. Yeah, most
the
certainly.
corner crunch is on the standard.
Yeah, I think they're all. I think they're pressable. The question is though, is that do I want to send it to them again to do it, or do I do it
Right.
myself? Do I crack them open and just resubmit? It's certainly, and of course they're not going to pay for it at this point. So he's got to,
So-
if he wants to take that chance.
The interesting thing is, and this is something we didn't talk about. So they should have essentially gotten rerouted to what is their pressing service, CCL.
Something like that, yeah.
So shouldn't they have gone to CCL, gotten pressed, and then come back for grading and encapsulation? Did we ever? You never saw a step other than received, right?
My instructions, they sent me a free shipping label next day air.
No.
And
I'm
where
not
it
saying
went.
you did something wrong. I'm saying in
No,
terms of
You're
what
right,
this,
though. It
this-
probably would have went direct to them, direct to the pressing place.
right.
Because honestly, because I didn't get a tracking number immediately, I thought mistakenly it was shipping from pressing to grading.
Hmm.
Because they didn't give me tracking, they just marked it as shipped.
Right.
But then I got the I got the tracking to my home address. So
Interesting.
um,
Yeah,
it,
it's certainly interesting. I
like I
mean,
said though, this is really I'm taking a hit on my confidence in CGC to do anything.
yeah,
Like it really is upsetting.
yeah, and I guess the alternative is I haven't seen a lot of horror stories about CBCS, but the timelines are just as bad right now,
And the
and
books are worth 85% of a season.
right, and the resale is still less, right?
It's
So,
not enough.
um, yeah, it's hard to
You're
say.
not you're not you're not benefiting enough from CBCS to go that way.
Right,
It's like PSA with sports cards. Like
right,
if you want the maximum amount of potential, you go with PSA. Even Beckett is not. Beckett with subgrades is still around the same as a PSA 9-ish for a 10, like a
right.
9.5 Gem Mint. But you go with some of these other companies, it's just not even close. It's 70% of PSA. Like it's not the same. When
Yeah, I
somebody's got
guess
that much of a
what is
market
the
share,
only thing that's the outlier is that what is that higher designation for Beckett, like Black Label or
they
whatever
have
it is?
that. Yeah, the pristine is the
Pristine,
10
yeah.
pristine. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's unfortunate that CGC is the only game in town if you want the most, if you want the biggest bang for your buck.
Yeah, and I guess the frustrating part is, um, and you've been in this game much longer than, decades longer than I have. But the idea that with the expanded timelines, that quality has not, I mean, like if if you're going to raise prices and the timelines are going to get blown out, then quality should be maintained or actually higher. There should be even a higher standard, right? But the fact that you're getting an elongated timeline and that the quality is suffering, I think that's like
Well,
incredibly
the
problematic.
quality is suffering from our singular perspective. I'm sure there's obviously because I'm not hearing about it. I'm seeing, you know, um, Gary and a bunch of other guys, even Erod. They're opening up stuff from CGC and they're completely happy with what they're getting. So
Yeah.
um, maybe I have to lower my expectations on what I think is a 9.8 or even a 9.6. And I don't know. I just I, things that I thought were 9.8s when they come back, like for you, we're coming back 9.2s. I'm like, this is not. I either have to reevaluate my grading process, or I don't know. I really don't know what to say. I was kind of shocked by that.
Yeah, I would say a couple of the ones that came back like 8.5s when I was expecting like a 9.4, 9.6. What was
Yeah.
that was what was really disconcerting to me. And then the idea that graders notes are not a requirement
Yeah, it looked
when
that way
when
too.
that to me is absurd because you're doing the same, you're evaluating every second single book. That's literally what you pay for. You pay for the evaluation and the grading and encapsulation. So the grading is the evaluation. So
Mhm.
if you've already said 9.8 being the gold standard and you've assessed an 8.5, then notate what the defects are. And so the fact that you submit 20 books and only 11 of them have graders notes is absurd.
And the graders
Like,
notes are all the same. Spine ticks, cover wrinkles. Spine ticks, cover wrinkles. They
yeah,
all said the same thing. And
yeah,
they introduced those things because I pressed them all. There were no
yeah,
spine ticks and there were no cover wrinkles.
yeah. Yeah, I
So
mean, I have,
you know
I
for a
have
fact that
literal, I have literal pictures of the static books that you
yeah,
sent me. I have pictures that you text me after you press them.
you pull a comic and you hold it like this.
Yeah,
You do not hold it like this.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, they're
That
literally
that
walking around there and they're just going like that. They're just like
well, the Invincible Iron Man had it had one of those tears at the top, like
Yeah.
when you've grabbed the cover like this. I was like, there's no way Dolph and I submitted a book with a modern book with a small thumb cover tear at the top. And so I get it back and I have a 9.0. And I was like, oh, great. I can sell a slab book for the same amount as like a raw book now. I can sell that 9.0. Even if it takes off, I'll be able to sell that for like $30 on the high end, you know?
Yeah, that Annihilus cover, that Annihilus book, what is it, the whole back?
Yeah.
It's got a 3-inch tear on it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. That book's worthless.
It's worthless. What did it come back as?
6.5.
6.5 for a modern book.
Yeah.
It's worthless.
I mean, what is that book from? 96, I guess?
It's $20.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you can get $20 for it.
I mean, and the worst part is it's a newsstand from 96, so it would have been a valuable book. Yeah, so I'm with you. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. You've got what? I've got 28 books left to come back. And I really need to submit my 298, 299, and 300. And I'm really nervous about my New Mutants 98, to tell you the truth, my newsstand, even though it was pretty gorgeous. I'm a bit concerned about it had that what appeared to be that manufacturing tear at the top of the but who knows if they're going to treat it like it's a manufacturing defect or if they're going to treat it like.
I mean, when we got back my Spider-Man 300, we were actually happy with that grade.
Yeah,
we were extremely happy with that grade.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping.
What did it come back as?
9.2.
That's awesome.
Jimmy's is a 9.2 newsstand, and mine at first glance is way cleaner, but. But we'll see. Mine will probably get back a 7.5 at this point. So who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? It's the.
I'm worried about that Catwoman we sent in because like 90% of that cover is solid red.
Yeah, but it looked clean. But did it have those spine boundary tears?
No,
like
that particular one was beautiful. That
that
particular one was absolutely beautiful.
That She-Hulk shocked me.
Yeah, I honest to God don't understand the She-Hulk still because what they're saying about the bindery split, almost every book has that to some extent. Like, I don't understand why they're not giving it a 5-grade deduction on every book from that time period, because almost every single one has it. That's what happens to paper when you score it. You know?
Yep. Hey, what's up, Joe? Joe's on.
Hey, Joe.
What up, Joe?
Yep. I don't know. I did get my first, because I subscribed for the first time in a long time. I got my first Sports Illustrated for Kids.
Nice.
Yes.
What future cards do you have?
No, this is why this is a good. Jonathan India, Rookie of the Year, is in here.
Okay.
But
you get Soccer Girl?
A lot of these guys, there's a Soccer Girl. I don't know her. Call on it. But yeah, there's some good ones here.
You got Najee.
Yeah.
I see.
So yeah, I'm happy. You can't go wrong with some Sports Illustrated for Kids, man. That Tiger Woods card sells for what? Like 10 grand in a Gem in 10?
There's so many of them in that,
Yeah,
that Michael Phelps card, the Mia Hamm card, the Tony Hawk card.
Yep, even that, what was her name? Otani, the tennis girl?
Yeah.
Her card's like crazy money. I know.
Yep.
Well. And Jace, it's strange. We used to get that book.
Sports Illustrated for Kids.
And I remember the story in there about Tiger Woods and his dad. And it was all this up and coming junior league champion, blah 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 blah. And
yeah, that one came out in '94.
Yeah.
We would have been a subscriber in 91, 92, 93, something like that. So
the timeline's right. That's a
So
hot card. Well, it was a hot card. It's not so much anymore, but it's still pricey.
yeah.
Just because it's not
Well, you got to
hot doesn't
get
mean
it,
you're
and
getting
then you
it
got
for
to
free.
spend $3,000 to submit it to PSA,
Yeah, the
and
ones
then
I've
you
seen, guys are
get it
asking
back.
like $3,000, and it's got a big crease in the middle of it. And you're like,
Yeah,
nope.
you mean raw?
Yeah, it's not. It's still in the magazine, but with a big giant
Oh,
crease
oh,
down
oh,
the middle.
okay.
Like I even have like a whole bunch of Sports Illustrated for Kids pages. I even have like a good Kobe Bryant, but the Kobe Bryant's got a crease on it.
Your Tony Hawk's in good shape though, right?
Tony Hawk's in good shape. Yep.
And is that perforated? Is it removed from the perforation, or is it still
Nope.
on
Full
the
page.
whole page?
Removed from the magazine, but it's the full. It's the full
Right.
insert. Tony Hawk is center bottom,
Yeah.
where
That's cool.
Tiger Woods is in the middle. So he's protected, which is good. But obviously, creases you can't save him from. But it's nice that
Yeah.
he's right in the middle of the page.
That's cool.
And that, what's her name? That girl golfer. What's up, CV baseball card collector?
Annika Sorenstam, or you
He
talk
said
about?
audio is rough. Is audio really that bad? In the beginning, I know it is because I forgot my microphone.
Is everybody's audio rough or just
No,
yours?
your audio is coming from the desktop, but mine, I forgot my microphone was like 5 feet away from my head back there, so I'm sure I sound terrible.
Well, I'm sorry if any of you guys can pick up a baby screaming in the background because
You can't hear anything.
our 2-year-old is going through sleep regression all of a sudden,
Oh no!
which is awesome.
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 I think I've been going through sleep regression for about the last 25 years.
Yeah. He says
But I can
sound
put
like
myself, I can soothe myself back to sleep though.
Who sounds like a robot, Joe? Me or the Jason and Jimmy?
What do you mean? I do not sound
I
like a
sound
robot.
Like a robot? That's not good. Me, I sound like a robot? Well, that sucks. Damn. What happened?
I think you guys should talk sports for Joe.
Yeah, I guess so.
So Joe, does it look like we're gonna have a baseball season? Is that something that's gonna happen this year?
Restarted my little audio device. Hopefully that helped. I don't
Speaking
know.
of
I
sports,
don't know if we're gonna have.
I sold a Steelers lot on eBay 2 days ago, and the guy still hasn't paid for it.
Oh, good. Send him an invoice. Did you send him an invoice?
I sent him a
Reminder.
reminder twice, and eBay sent him a reminder.
No, just send him an. I always just send invoices, and then after a week, you just threaten them with bad feedback.
Yeah, it's so great that they can get a week to not pay for something, and then before you can threaten them with bad feedback.
Oh, the worst thing is they had 30 days to return something.
Yeah.
So back in the day, I mean, I don't know if it's still that way, but you sell them something, and then next thing you know, 30 days later, your funds are frozen because somebody filed a claim. And you're like, what the hell? I already spent that money. It was a month ago.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because now eBay's actually sending your money before you even ship.
Yeah.
You're actually getting it before you ship. So, yeah, they're on the wimpy method, right? I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger. Gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today, kind of a thing. So the only thing is Jimmy did not send the products to them as of yet. So
No. I send when paid. Now that they're out of the race, I wonder if I were to put more stuff on there, if it would sell as well.
Well, I don't think Jim. I mean, I don't think even the most diehard of Steelers fans had any delusions of them making a deep run in the playoffs. Considering Ben Roethlisberger, he could throw basically a marble rye about as well as he could throw a football at this point in time. He was a statue in the pocket, and it was not going to be a deep run in the playoffs.
No.
Unless T.J. Watt had like 12 sacks per game, it was not going to be
No,
something that
there's
was
no
a
I
long
way.
could probably sell a Juju lot, Chase, since I have like 3 T-shirts for Juju and
lot. Possibly.
So the Hall of Fame vote is going to be on the 25th in baseball, and they think for the second year in a row nobody's getting in.
Oh, wow.
David Ortiz has the best chance from the guys that have shown their ballots, but he's showing at 76% right now, which is enough to get in. But usually, when the old timers reveal theirs, usually they drop like 7 to 11%. So
I
that means,
can't imagine that David Ortiz would not get in.
well, he's linked to PEDs. He was on the Mitchell report.
Oh, really? I didn't recall that.
Yeah, because he was connected to the same guy that was connected to the Yankees. So the Yankees in Boston all had that same locker room guy that was. That's
Yeah.
the same
I
guy that
mean,
was like.
but he was crushing balls well after the Mitchell report was,
He
done and gone.
was, but he was not crushing balls when he was a nobody on Minnesota.
This is true.
So he ends up going to Boston. All of a sudden, he's a god.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, he had 5 incredible years after everything was said and done, though.
Oh
Like,
yeah, no, I
I'm
mean, the guy hit home runs, but
yeah,
they're all ahead of the game.
sure,
Bonds didn't get caught until they raided Balco. Otherwise, he probably
sure.
would have just kept getting away with it.
Yeah,
But I mean, Joe says put Rose in. I totally agree with putting Rose in.
me too.
Guy,
too.
he's served his time. I mean,
At this point in time, like let's think about so Pete Rose gambled, right? And they say he gambled on baseball as a manager. Okay, right now you can't watch an NFL game without seeing 2,700 Caesars sportsbook commercials in
yeah,
one 3-hour football game. If we really care that much about the gambling integrity of the game, now I know it's football versus baseball, but I'm sure the World Series would be the same.
well,
There's going to be Caesars sportsbook commercials every 5 seconds.
yeah. I mean,
And there was
the
no
argument
evidence that he
is
bet
that the one
against.
rule in baseball is thou shalt not gamble, and it was like everywhere in every locker room, like you cannot do this.
Right.
Especially,
You can murder people, you could rape people and still be in the Hall of Fame. All of those things are fine. You could be
who's
the
a
world's
murder rapist
biggest,
in the Hall of Fame?
you could be the world's biggest bigot, like
Yeah,
all of those things you
yeah.
could
you can
be.
take steroids.
Yeah, like all
You
of
can
the
cheat in the
things.
game.
So that's the thing. I'm anti anybody who took steroids getting in. I'm not a fan of Bonds. I'm not a fan of Clemens. But Jeff Bagwell is in the Hall of Fame, and that dude is the biggest roid head around. Like, I mean, come on. They already let him in. Now, everybody said Piazza was on steroids. They already let him in. He's already in. So, I mean, like, I don't know. I'm against it, but I mean, like, you already opened the floodgates, so just let them all in. I think Mark
Yeah.
McGwire should be in. I mean, I'm kind of heartbroken that Mattingly's still not in there, and Mattingly's my boy. Like, Mattingly's a Hall of Famer. You put his stats next to Kirby Puckett, they're exactly the same, except for Kirby Puckett's World Series ring.
Yeah.
They're exactly the same. And Mattingly's better than him in a lot of other stats, except for All-Star games. Puckett has more All-Star games. But
Right.
Mattingly's
And
got twice as many gold
that's-
gloves as he does.
Right, and that's because Don played fractured seasons his last 5 years in the league. I mean, from basically 1990 through his retirement in '94, they were all kind of partial seasons. I think the high watermark's like 113 games or something like
Still
that.
kills me that friggin' strike eliminated his last chance to get in the World Series.
I literally cried, and then when I see
So bad.
Tino freaking Martinez playing first base when they win the World Series,
Yeah, I know. It's criminal.
It's
They tried. They made him a bench coach. Like, we'll get you a ring, and they couldn't win. It's like, oh god, this guy deserves a ring so bad.
yes, dang
Stinks.
shame. The dang shame.
Anyway, though, but there's the Veterans Committee is voting on baseball players that played from their main years from 85 to 2004, I think it is. So they're saying that Mattingly could get in from the Veterans Committee that's voting right after this. but also Bonds and Clemens and Schilling and
Yeah, I just think that there's probably such a big stain on some of those bigger guys like Bonds and Clemens that I don't know. I mean it's kind of crazy, like you said, if you if you put their stats up against the other people from their era who are also suspected of doing something, like how can you ignore it? Because it'd be an apples to apples comparison to the people in that era. But
the
it
sad
is,
thing is though is that Clemens and Bonds, both of them were good before steroids. Like they
yeah,
were
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hall of
yeah.
Famers before steroids. They
I
just
always think Barry Bonds is probably a Hall of Famer. He probably still has 3,000 hits. He just doesn't have 700 home
he
runs. He
won't
has
have
a
700 home
300
runs.
home runs, and then he has 500 career stolen bases because he steals a lot more bases if he doesn't,
Yeah,
if he doesn't become the Incredible Bulk, So
the size of
it's
that boy's
crazy.
head is gross. Joe, is my mic still bad? I don't want to sound like a robot. I don't want to be a pirate. I don't know. Anyway, I think yeah. So A-Rod doesn't even have like 20% of the vote.
Yeah. Who
Huh.
who that kid before steroids
Hall of
was
Famer.
like was like
Yeah,
357
yeah,
batting average,
ridiculous.
like at 20 years of
Yeah,
age and
and he
stuff
got
like that.
popped twice.
Yeah.
Stupid. Yeah, A-Rod's gonna be really low. But some guys gaining ground like Billy Wagner was awesome. He was great.
Hmm.
Andrew Jones is one of the best center fielders of all time. He should be in. He's gaining some speed. But this is it for Bonds. This is the last ballot. Bonds, Clemens, Schilling, and Sammy Sosa. They're all done after this vote. So they either get in now or not at all, except for veterans. But this is going to be 2 years in a row where he might not even have a Hall of Famer.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's
It says,
Jeter
it
and Larry
says,
Walker from 2019.
David Ortiz, Alex Rodriguez, Ryan Howard, and Tim Lincecum are among 13 first-time candidates.
The freak. I once had a guy, I swear to God, he was from like Peru. He comes to my table, he's like, "You got Tim Lincecum?" I was like, "Really?" It's like, "Yeah, big fan." I was like, "Yeah, I was like, in my dollar box, I have like two $1 Tim Lincecum rookie cards." I was like, "Yeah, I actually just sleeved these up the other day." He's like, "You are amazing." I was like, "Tim Lincecum, really?" He's like, "Yes."
I really
the
had
freak.
no idea that Schilling got closer than Bonds and Clemens. Schilling was
Well,
just 16 votes shy.
the only thing against Schilling is his politics. He's an idiot. He's an asshole.
Hmm.
But the thing is, this year he basically said, "Take me off the ballot. Don't vote for me." So they're not. His percentage points dropped like 29% from last year, and last year he was like 5 votes away, and he basically just submarined himself because he's an idiot.
Yeah, so it looks like holdovers. So Justin Murneau, Jimmy Rollins, Jake Peavy
Hmm.
are new to the ballot, along with Prince Fielder, Joe Nathan, Jonathan Papelbon, AJ Perginski, Mark Teixeira. Holdovers include Bobby Abreu, Mark Burley, Todd Helton, Tim Hudson, Torrey Hunter, Andrew Jones, Jeff Kent, Andy Pettit, Manny Ramirez, Gary Sheffield, Sammy Sosa, Omar Vizquel, and Billy Wagner. I actually can't believe that Todd Helton wouldn't get in. Did Todd Helton end up having
He's
3,000 hits?
yes.
Maybe he didn't play long enough?
No. Well, he played in Colorado. That's what hurt him. That's what hurts everybody that plays in Colorado.
Yeah, but it wasn't like he was hitting bombs all the time. He was hitting singles and doubles.
But I mean, when you have the splits and your stats are inflated at home,
I don't have that
that's why
information.
Larry Walker had to wait so long. You don't see Andres Galarraga getting in, the big cat,
Or Dante Bichette.
or Dante Bichette. Yeah.
So here's the thing. Helton only ended up having 2,519 hits
Yeah.
because he didn't play.
A bunch of gold gloves though.
didn't play a lot of full seasons towards the end of his career.
Mm.
Good God, though, 4 years removed from his retirement, he had 216 hits in 147 RBIs a season with 138 runs scored.
Yeah, he's
That's
good.
flipping bananas.
He's good.
Dude had more, or he had uh, 200 more walks than strikeouts, 1,400 career RBIs, 1,400 runs scored.
Yeah, he's not bad. I
Would
mean, a
say
guy
that's
like
not
Bill
bad.
Mazeroski gets in. Harold Baines got in. I mean, Harold Baines is not a Hall of Famer. That guy's a joke.
Todd Helton career 316 batting average, 369 home runs, 61.8 career WAR. Yeah, I mean, those are some flipping big numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Helton's good. I don't know if I agree with the Scott Rowland thing. Everybody says like he's one of the best third base. I was like, I don't know. When I think back in like those years, I don't fear when Philly came to town.
Yeah, but would you typically fear his defense or would you fear his
No,
offense?
I
You
don't
know, like
fear him
I
at
think if
all.
they're saying his best third baseman, they're probably talking about his defense, not his
I mean, when the
offense.
Cardinals came to town, we all lined up to watch Big Mac hit batting practice. Did you feel that way about Rowland? No.
I mean, he was a Philly. We loved him when he was a young Philly.
Yeah.
I mean, the couple times I saw him when I was a kid, he played a great third base. But
Yeah,
you
but so
know,
when you're telling me like the best guys on those teams, Ryan Howard and Rollins,
yeah,
not Rowland.
what we lose Roland before that though, because Ryan is a rookie and true rookie in 2005, and I think Roland's already gone in 2005. I mean, we had a parade of horrendous third basemen after. I mean, when we win the World Series, who the hell's our third baseman? When we won the World Series, I think our third baseman was like a 216 batting average kind of a guy. Um, I saw him do a rehab stint at Double A Reading. I can't remember. And the best part was he did a rehab stint at Double A Reading, and everybody's making a big deal because he's a longtime major leaguer. And he dropped an infield fly,
Oh my
and
God! While
at
he's
Double A,
rehabbing at
which you know
Double
Double
A,
A crowds are pretty chill. Double A crowd
they
booed
probably
him,
destroyed him.
drop and pop up in the infield.
Wow.
So I can't remember. It's hilarious because I for such a long time I remembered everybody, but I can't think of who it was.
There you go. 2005 Phillies third baseman.
Yeah,
Mike.
when is the Rollins last season? Is it 2005?
That I don't know. David Bell.
So it wouldn't be David Bell, but David Bell was horrendous too. Like if you check out dude's career batting average, I bet it's south of the
He was
Mendoza
there
line.
2005, 2006. Abraham Nunez was 2007. Let's see, 2004 was David Bell.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember.
2003, David Bell.
Yeah, so Rollins last year with the Phils was 2002.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Bobby Abreu. Remember him?
Bobby Bray had great stats
I
too.
loved him on the Yankees. He was fun, man. Who are you thinking of?
I can't remember. Like I'd love to see if I
Yeah.
can look at Philly's third baseman.
I don't even remember. When did they win? 2003?
2008.
2008?
Yep.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I was at that game.
You were at the Pedro
I saw
Feliz
I
was
saw
the
them I saw them win the World Series, yeah.
nice.
I was in the mayor's press box.
Oh, nice.
Our my best friend, his little brother worked for the city of Philadelphia in the he was an IT guy in the health department, and Mayor Nutter ran a citywide contest. You just basically had to, as a city employee, you had to essentially copy paste this email and submit it for a
Really?
chance to win tickets,
And you
and
did.
he won, and he didn't care about baseball at all, but we went, and the Phillies won the World Series on the first and only still postponed game in baseball in World Series history. So we went down 2 different days. Um, that was my first and still only riot that I've been part of, and may have seen a man die.
Really?
He shimmied up the post on Broad and Patterson, and then started. Everybody was like, "Don't do it, don't it!" And he started shimmying across the crossbar, and somebody hit him with a beer bottle right in the head, and he just fell. He fell off
Gotta love
into the
Philly,
sea
man.
into the sea of people. I'm pretty sure you can actually watch that on YouTube still,
Gotta
and
love
I watched
Philly.
that happen right in front of my face, and then a police or ambulance just kind of pushed the crowd out of the way. Then Craig lived on Broad Street, so we walked the length of Broad Street. Craig lived near City Hall, and yeah, there was a cop car that looked like a T-Rex had just crushed it, and there was all kinds of fires in the middle of Broad Street. I saw like literal children walking down the street with cases of beer on their
That's
shoulders. I
amazing.
actually saw like a 12-year-old kid walking down the street, 12 or 13, with a case of beer on the street. Two mounted Philadelphia police officers look at that kid, look at each other, and the one guy's like, "Not worth it," because there was like fires happening all around him.
That's pretty funny.
It was very surreal.
Not worth it.
So yeah, so that was a great time. It was pretty exciting to see.
That's pretty cool.
Lots of people yelling, chanting "F Joe Buck," which had to have been loud enough that it showed up on the Fox telecast. I mean, it was deafening in the
I don't know
stadium.
how that guy still has a job. He is terrible.
Our disdain as Philadelphia fans for Joe Buck. I mean, to put it in perspective, we win the World Series for the first time in 28 years, and the thing that 55,000 care about most is
Is
just
how bad
letting
Joe
Joe
Buck
Buck
is.
have it for at first before everything else. So yeah, it was a super cool. Definitely one of the things I'll always remember.
Yeah. And I love the part about you not even being a fan. Not
Well,
even
yeah,
a
I was
fan.
I was a fan. Craigie was not a fan.
Hopefully they figure out this lockout, man. We need baseball back. Baseball would be stupid to not start the season on time.
Pedro Feliz was the
That's what I just that's what I said. Pedro Feliz.
player I
cool.
was talking about, and he was our third baseman in in '08. What's funny though, if you look at total WAR, Nunez the year before was a negative point 0.8 in 2007 in WAR. But just to show you, Dolph, about Rollins. So Rollins WAR from '97 to 2002 as the starter: 4.5, 6.7, 4.7, 4.5, 5.6, 3.6. This is the next
Isn't an eight is Hall of Fame numbers, right?
somewhere around that.
Something like I think it's cumulative. It's like a 46 or whatever it is. WAR for
Listen, here is the next 19 seasons at 19 seasons
he played
of
how
third
many?
base for Philly. Point 0.2.
Mm,
Then David Bell pulled a 4.4 the one year. Then point 0.9, point 0.3, negative point 0.8,
yeah.
point 0.6, 1.2, 3.2, 1.9, point 0.4, negative 1.1, point 0.3, 1.8, point 0.6, point 0,
Yeah.
point 0.4, negative point 0.2,
So what you're
point
saying
0.9,
is the
negative
Phillies didn't have a
1.4.
third baseman for a long time.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I think Rollins' last 2 years with the Phillies, his WAR total would probably equal the next 19 seasons at third base for the Phillies,
All right.
which is just absurd. Placido Polanco by far the best, and then you said it, Dolph. is eight Hall of Fame. Chase Utley's were 7.3, 7.3, 7.8, 9, 8.2, 5.8, and then he started getting older and they were in the threes, but
He's got
they
a
were
chance of getting in. I
real
hate his
high
I,
there for a
I
long
hate his
time.
guts, but he's got a chance of getting in the Hall of Fame.
Jimmy Rollins, who I always thought was an awesome shortstop, his WAR was never that high.
Who's that?
Jimmy Rollins.
Yeah, I don't. He's just like a perennial all-star, but I always thought he was pretty good.
Bobby Abreu, Bobby Abreu's WAR outpaces Bryce Harper most years. Bryce Harper's this year was 5.9, and he won the MVP. Abreu had one,
He was
two,
good.
3 seasons higher than that, and 2 seasons just below that.
Wow.
Would have never sniffed an MVP award. I can tell you that much.
No. No.
Yeah, just interesting information. Well, gentlemen,
Yeah, Jimmy passed. Jimmy checked out a long time ago. He's
I'm
here.
sorry, guys.
He's
It's
here in
one,
spirit.
it's sports talk, and I'm no good at that.
It's all good,
And
man.
two, literally since we started this at 9:45, my baby has not stopped screaming.
She's screaming the whole time.
She's been screaming the whole.
I can't even
time.
hear it. I'm so sorry.
That's some.
And we're trying to stick to our guns again and do the sleep training, which means
Yeah.
you do not go in and coddle her. You
That's
let her
some
know that
love
you're here.
dexterity.
You let her know that she's not alone, but you do not coddle her.
Yeah.
And like, so it's like, it's
Oh, now I hear it. I hear that.
mind numbing. It's mind numbing.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
She hasn't done this
Well,
in she hasn't done this in like 7 months. So it's awesome. I slept 3.5 hours last night, and it was on her floor.
Oh God.
So,
Sorry, man.
Well, hopefully in the next couple of weeks we get another submission or two of ours back, and then we can do
that'd be nice.
an unboxing. Yeah, I would love to see. I would love to see some of the big books that you've got outstanding. So
Yeah. Either way, Michael, if you're watching this, I'm gonna reach out to CGC tomorrow and say WTF. And if not, we'll come up with a game plan. Maybe I'll crack some and repress them, resubmit them. Yeah, but then you're $17 in, and then you're another
Yeah.
$17 in. Like, so
well,
when
you're
does
more
when
you're
does
more than 17. Then you're going to be what 22 in the second go round because
yeah, right. So when does
right.
$40? When does it become worth it to make $100 on $40 plus his original investment?
Yep.
Then you're
Yeah,
just kind of
that's-
shooting yourself in
I
the
mean
foot.
that's kind of after that submission that we got back. I did all right on those books. Most of the books I sold, inexplicably, actually, the books that I have not been able to sell so far are some of the better books, in my opinion, some of the better books in that I had available for sale, and they're just not moving right now. So
Which ones are those?
so the Batman 497 newsstand, which the last 2 copies to sell on eBay sold for $199 and for $175. Mine's at $155
And
and
not selling?
18 watchers not selling.
Stick to your guns, man. Stick to your guns on that one.
And then the Hulk 377, which is a 9.7 newsstand too, that I have at 135, and it's not moving. So
Because Hulk, that Hulk is not hot right now, but wait till She-Hulk comes out.
yeah,
That'll pop again. So be patient with that one too. It's just he's
Yeah.
not being spoken about right now. That's why.
might be books I just pull down for the time being, and then just
Yeah, just
like
in fact, put each one at $20 more and just leave it up there for a buy it now on eBay and just see what happens. Somebody will come
Yeah.
along, or just
Yeah,
list
so-
it for $20 more or best offer and just let them come to you. I had stuff listed for years. I had things listed for like years, 18 months, and then finally somebody just made me an offer. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's aggravating because I actually sold the Bane book, and I don't know whether the kid was drunk when he offered, but then he offered. I had accepted the offer, and then the next morning I got an email from him saying, "I don't remember bidding on this, or I never bid on this," or something like that. I was like, "You
Really?
didn't bid, you offered on it." And then I looked at the timestamp, and it was like 3:30 in the morning, so maybe he drunk offered. But it's unfortunate. So, but somebody like that, they're not gonna pay.
No, of
So,
course not. So you just let them out of it.
they
Yeah,
say that
there's
they say
no
they didn't order it in the first place.
there's
So,
no point. There's no point.
so yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
Oh,
it is what it is.
quick pick of the week for me is
Oh, pick of the week, Jimmy.
between issues I already had. I just told Jason this before we went on. Before issues that I already had and some of the issues that you gave me for Christmas, Dolph, I now have all four of Seed of Destruction,
Nice.
the first run of Hellboy, because I had 1, 2, and 4, and I needed 3, and I found it for a good price on eBay, so I popped it, and it's on its way. So
Nice, man.
now I have all four of that
Congrats.
set.
That's a good read.
Jimmy got another book this week. I found that I had Batgirl 1 Adam Hughes cover in my back issue bin. So
Nice.
he got another
There you go.
another Adam Hughes book this week.
I was looking at that Supergirl. Oh, holy crap, that thing's expensive. The Supergirl Adam Hughes cover.
Which one?
It's like
The one where she's
She's
sitting
sitting-
on the comet,
yes,
on the meteor. Yeah,
it's like $500
yeah.
raw.
Wow, that's crazy.
Raw. I think it's like $1,800, like in the 9.8. It's crazy.
Is it
money.
a ratio variant or something or?
Yeah, it's a 1 in 50, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because otherwise, why that particular book?
Well, Jimmy sent us that link, and I already knew which Spider-Man it was. I've been hunting for that book. I have a watch thing on eBay for it because it's ridiculously expensive. Like, there's only 200 of them out there. What the hell is it called? Like, it's Spider Volcano or whatever. I forgot what the hell it's called. What is it? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Oh my god.
Would you call it Spider Volcano?
It is a weird name like that. Spider-Man. What the hell is it called?
Which book was this?
Spider Island, not Spider Volcano.
Spider Island.
Spider Island.
Well, the island was made from a volcano, so more than likely.
Certainly
So.
was.
It was Spider Volcano at one time.
Great cover too. Yeah, I love this cover.
It's an Adam Hughes cover or
No, I think it's is it Alex Ross? Oh, Delato.
Delato? Yeah, that Delato book, I actually have it in that modern lot that's at CGC right now.
Yeah.
The I don't remember. I think that's the first Spider Punk. So which
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
cover A has actually gotten kind of hot, and the Delato connecting cover was always kind of hot. So yeah, that's certainly. I really am hoping for a couple of 9/8s.
I'm hoping
in that.
for you. I need
that
CGC to
We
rebuild
need-
some of my
we need that
confidence.
light. We need that light. Yeah, I think for my Spotlight 6 and for my Superheroes 20, those I would be happy with just about anything. I just think they're cool books to have. I think if I get a 4 or a 5 on the Superheroes 20, I'd be perfectly happy with that. I think you think it was more, but and then the Spotlight 6, I think I could probably pull a 6 or higher on it because it was pretty clean. It had a little spine stress, but it was pretty clean. So I'm kind of interested in getting those back too, and I'm really interested in getting that Hulk magazine back as well. It's got a super early Moonlight story in it, and it's like Stankowicz's first interior art for Marvel or something crazy like that. I forget what Sienkiewicz. I forget what this special thing about it is, but just a great cover, and it's super high grade.
Well, dust bunny. All right, guys.
All
Wrap
right.
it up. Oh, Jimmy, I hear the kid.
I hear it. Yeah,
Oh, I'm
it's awesome.
sorry, man. Is Amanda laying down with her, or Amanda's?
No,
or your
she's just in her crib,
yeah.
just refusing to sleep.
gotta pass out eventually.
You think?
One would think.
One would think that, wouldn't they? I'm sorry, man.
All right, boys.
All right, boys.
Hey,
Have a
guys.
good night.
Good night.
Have a good night.
See ya again next week. Hopefully, sorry I went rock climbing. We'll get it in earlier next week.
All right.
See you guys. Good night, Joe.
All right, night, guys.
See ya.
Bye.